Oh, yeah. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, everyone else on the binary, non-binary gender spectrum. It's your boy, Big Zeke, back here again with my boy Eric, Big E Dog, that'll give you the big O Dog, and Rick, the man so hung that they had to name him Dick. We're back with another episode of White Noise. So welcome back, welcome in if it's your first time. Happy to have you along for the ride here. I wanted to fire it off. We're used to Eric starting this little roller coaster, but I wanted to talk about something very special and very close to my heart. And for those of you who haven't seen it, there was a report that Greyhound buses, they're not going to let ICE agents on anymore. They've said we're not going to let ICE agents search our buses for undocumented people. Not going to happen. And we have another working class hero out of all of this. It's not just Luigi anymore. We found the Robin to our Batman. And it is a Seattle bus driver who, upon hearing the news that Greyhound will not allow ICE agents on the bus and that he should not allow the agents to search the bus, told ICE agents attempting to search his bus to, quote, gargle my balls. So I don't know the name of this person. If anyone knows, please let me know. I haven't found it. But I just think that it's fantastic that we have this working class hero. There is a change.org petition to change Seattle's slogan to gargle my balls. So if all of you want to go look that up, please go sign that. No matter where you're from, I think it's very important. So we're firing off with some fantastic news. Yeah. Welcome in, Rick and Eric. How are you feeling? Are you getting your balls gargled? Are you ready for ICE to gargle your balls?
Yeah. First of all, I think that's an awesome quote. I love it. I love the spirit in which it was said, and I can't believe that. So he said this directly to an agent, correct?
Yeah, my understanding is, again, ICE agents are attempting to search his bus. They're trying to climb aboard, and he just looked them straight in the face and said, "No, gargle my balls."
Oh my God. You
So
know,
this is, I mean, again, a federal agent. This bus driver, this just man's man of a bus driver, looks a federal agent whose job it is to send people to fucking Guantanamo Bay, and he just has the fucking stones to tell him to gargle my balls. I think that's how the next 4 years. I think we all need to take that energy into the next 4 years. That's the slogan of the resistance to Donald Trump round two, I think.
yeah. No, I agree. I got two things. First, one being, if ever presented the opportunity, I hope I have the brass to have that same energy. You know what I mean? Like, I hope when faced with an opportunity to say that to somebody of the opposing side, and it's appropriate to say, like, if they're going against something I believe in, I hope I can say that to them. Also, I think this raises a good kind of like, this is where we're at in our country, where a bus driver feels like that's the opportunity they have to say that to a federal agent. Like, they're not taking them seriously. Like, at this point, you know what I mean? Like, it's such a ridiculous administration where somebody has the brass, like you said, a local hero of sorts, to be like, gargle my balls, fuck you, get off my bus, man. Like, I got shit to do today. Go away. You know what I mean?
There's so much in those three words, I think, just because of the context that we can give them. There's just so much weight in them because, again, it's a working class guy who clearly doesn't give a single solitary fuck about Donald Trump's agenda here, getting rid of undocumented immigrants in this manner. It's a guy just like, dude, I'm trying to survive. All this shit's expensive. Like, you're fucking stuff up. You guys aren't part of help. You're not helping me do my job. Just get the fuck out of here, man. Like,
Yeah.
get the fuck out of here. If there's undocumented people on here, I don't give a shit. They're trying to get somewhere. I'm just driving this goddamn bus.
Yeah. Exactly.
I really think that Democrats in Congress and anywhere else that are holding office should really take notes from this guy. They need to start telling Trump to gargle their collective balls whenever he's trying to pull this shit. All of them.
Yeah.
And Elon too. Like, show the fuck up and be defiant.
Well, and I think that goes like what Zach was saying too. First of all, I agree with you, Rick, but I also think it like, and I think like it goes to the tune of we got other shit we got to do as a country, right? Like, why are we focusing on this right now? Like, it could be an issue, illegal immigration, all that stuff, sure, but I think there are bigger, fatter, greater bigly fish to fry. I just think that there's so many other things that we could focus on and put our energy to, that is bipartisan probably, and we could work together. But I don't think Republicans see it that way. And like you said, Democrats should be like, just no, we're not doing that. Stop with this racist bullshit, man. We're not doing the camps. We're not doing the fucking raids. We're not doing that stuff. This is 1939. All right, we're going to focus on other things like feeding the hungry, clothing the unclothed, and homeless people and whatnot. And then we can maybe champagne problems after that. Okay.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like, look, there. I go back and forth. Look, like people aren't illegal, to be clear, and I mean, it's one of those things. Like, I don't like the play of splitting hairs because that's the right does a ton of splitting hairs and well, how do you define this or that? And I'm not interested in that game. So, like, I understand. Yeah, do drugs cross the border? Some of them, sure. Yeah. I mean, I guess. Do people cross the border with ill intent or people that do crimes, do certain illegal industry crimes? Yeah, sure, whatever. And technically, by letter of the law, do you need certain things to be able to work in this country that people are kind of bypassing? Yep, sure, I get it. But again, is that person who, went from Colombia and walked all the way up to cross the border at Mexico so that they could pick fucking fruit for $5 an hour. Did they take your job? No, they fucking didn't. They took a shitty job that you didn't take because let's be honest, we're all pretty fucking baby shit soft up here, or at least like there are a lot of tough motherfuckers up here. And I know the three of us have certainly held jobs that would be considered difficult by certain standards and whatever. But I don't know, man. I can talk up and down about how I'm a bad motherfucker. You can't get me to fucking pick apples or pick avocados in California sun, for 12 hours a day for $5 an hour. So you have all these people coming up to do things like that, and that's just not the goddamn problem. Again, we've said it before on here, but they paid almost $100 billion in taxes. I think 2023 was the year that I saw the data for, right? Which makes sense. Which also I found would have paid almost the entire SNAP budget for 2023, which I think was $112 billion for the year for the federal SNAP program. So these people came in, and if you want to split it that way, all these people come in, they do all this work, they pay all these taxes, they can't take from that SNAP program, but they almost single-handedly pay for this shit for all these other red states to have it, for all these fuckers, poor fuckers in Kentucky where all the fucking ore ran out and they can't mine in these towns anymore. For all the people in Mississippi and for all the people in Georgia, the people who live in swamps in fucking Florida and have 4 teeth and can't read, like all of them. It pays for all of those fuckers to get SNAP benefits. And so no, like fucking these people cross the border, that ain't the fucking problem. So yeah, especially I mean, this is one big issue. We're gonna have a lot of issues, but yeah. Gargle my fucking balls if you think they're the fucking problem.
Yeah. No kidding. No kidding. And I've in personal experience, I've and certainly not in any extreme temperature or anything, but I've worked in these fields with some of these folks, and when I was in high school and things like that, and I've met a few, and that's all they want to do is just have a better life. They don't expect much, and they just want to get away from whatever it is they got away from. And then at the end of the season, they go to California. They go to like they leave areas. They're helping America wherever they can and whenever the season is. And like you said, Zach, like they're doing the jobs that Americans won't do. And there's really no reason. And then they pay taxes on it. So it just seems like a problem that people, especially the people that vote, in against it, don't really understand, and they're just being like coerced into it because of the false promise of other better, quote unquote, better things that go along with it, I guess. So I don't know. It's disappointing.
Well, and this is already affecting farms that hire these undocumented workers, because they stop showing up to work. If ICE is coming out and there's no sacred place where they can go safely, and they're at risk of getting raided wherever they go, they stop going to work, and it's already affecting farmers' harvest in certain parts of the country.
Yeah, I believe it.
Like,
I mean,
I
well, the
never
thing
saw
too
that
is,
coming.
well, that goes back to, I mean, yeah, obviously, like it makes total sense for them to not show up to work, right? Because I mean, they right away, I think it was within the executive order, if it was shortly thereafter, where they're like, look, they're pulling people out of hospital beds. Schools are not sacred, churches are not sacred. They said they weren't going to raid workplaces, but obviously they were going to raid workplaces, right? So yeah, this all compounds, and I think it kind of goes back to the thing where when Trump, we've had this discussion before, I think, where when Trump says stuff, he lies all the fucking time, of course, and he doesn't always do what he says for various reasons. But when he says he's going to do shit, you have to fucking believe him, because if he does do it, you need to be ready for that eventuality. And as a voter, I think you need to be able to take your candidate at their word. And if you can't, that's probably a pretty good sign that you shouldn't vote for that candidate. But we're seeing I think we're going to see pretty high regret rates with voting for Donald Trump as his time goes on. I mean, shit, it's been what, a month now? It's not even a month now. We're like 3 weeks into this bitch, and already, I mean, it's just fucking chaos.
Yeah, and to say, like, I wanted to just add this in about Trump and like signing these executive orders too. It's like he's playing chess, or more appropriately checkers, with he's making these moves, not anticipating the other person's play. And so he's just making these moves and like setting up himself for huge weaknesses and like huge retaliatory whatever the hell, like with the tariffs and whatever. He's not anticipating the move that's going to happen next. He's just like, I'm doing this, and that's it. That's all the farther he fucking thinks. And it just blows my fucking mind. He's like, the other side's not going to do anything. They're sitting right there. See, they're not doing anything. It's like, they haven't moved yet. They're going to react to what you did. You stupid fuck.
Yeah, he's throwing a Hail Mary on every play on 1st and 10. And it's leading to either not working or interceptions. But I think we can, I mean, a good way to even, another example I think of this is the tariff situation that we saw, and the way that all worked out, and to my knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it basically amounted to, Trump said, hey, we're gonna tariff Canada and Mexico 25% and China 10%, right? So those are the quantifiable factors of it. But they also said something along the lines, and I can only think of Mexico right now, but like we need 10,000 troops at the border between Mexico and the United States as a part of this kind of thing. But Mexico, a year ago, as part of their already internal negotiations or whatever, however that worked, said they wanted 15,000 soldiers from their army at the border. So basically, they're just like, yeah, we'll do it. We're going to do that. We're going to do 10,000. Like you said, Donald, we're going to do what you said. Don't worry. It's your idea. Just basically to like ease whatever that was. And this dumb fucking idiot of a president of ours thinks it was his idea. And like any other narcissist person, you gotta kind of round about the way and make it seem like it's their idea in order for things to go smoothly. And that's kind of what we saw in real time here. So yeah, that just happened, and like we joked about, that like could have been an email, like it already happened, and so it was already on its way.
Yeah,
It's already there. It's already over.
They played him so fucking hard, dude. And like they called his bluff, and now if he wanted to do that again, they all know that he's gonna fucking be bluffing again. He's just gonna bluff all the fucking time, and they gave him shit that they already agreed to, and they're just fucking laughing at him. It's embarrassing. And any of these fucking idiots who think otherwise are just that. They're fucking stupid. They don't understand. They can't be bothered to even look at, like what Eric said, that Mexico already agreed to this shit. Canada already agreed to up and border security, or whatever the hell they agreed to. These were agreements that were already made, and you can look that up, and it's verifiable. That is just a fact. And these fucking morons are like, nope, Trump did it. Look how awesome he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. I was talking to a buddy when these went into effect. I was talking to a buddy of mine who lives in Canada right now, and we joked. I mean, Trudeau and all like everyone that he was negotiating with all that, at least with Mexico and Canada, were like, they're all playing chess, right? They're all playing chess because that's what politics is. It's a game of chess. And Trump is over here and he's trying to play Go Fish with Uno cards. Like, he doesn't fucking get it. So, yeah, you're right. Mexico said, okay, buddy, we'll send 10,000 troops to the border. There's already 15,000 there. Fuck it. So even if they're going to send 10,000 more, like, you already got beefed up security a year ago, right? So it's not a problem. Canada, I think the one thing that came from Canada that wasn't already there was a fentanyl czar.
Right.
Who the fuck knows if they actually hire anyone on, because why the fuck? I can't remember the exact figure or where I saw it. So someone will have to fact check me on it, but I think I saw that. I mean, of all the fentanyl coming across any of our borders or in the country or whatever it was, it's like less than 1% comes from Canada. Like, almost nothing is crossing the Canadian border. But Trump is just screaming up and fucking down about how Canada's just, it's like they're fucking trebucheting, like, just tons and tons of fucking bags of fentanyl in here, and everyone's just in the streets gobbling it up like fucking turkeys. Like, he misquoted when he was doing all of this at, I don't know if it was a signing of something or if it was just I think it was just a press conference. He had said that, like, we lost, like 300,000 people to fentanyl overdoses last year. It was 70,000.
Right.
So 70,000 is bad, right? Like, I don't say that to, like, deflate numbers and make it sound like this isn't a problem, right? Like, you don't want people dying of drug overdoses. It's very bad. But he, like, tried to just quadruple the numbers of what's going on here. And it's a case of either he's just flatly lying and trying to inflate the problem so that, everyone thinks this is a bigger win, or he doesn't fucking know. And I'm going to lean towards the latter of those two, that he just doesn't fucking know the facts. Because when has Donald Trump ever accurately stated a fucking statistic in his goddamn life?
Well, it's I don't know, the wettest they've ever seen is probably the closest he's ever got to a statistic with that hurricane back in his first administration.
From the standpoint of water.
From the standpoint of
Oh
water,
my
it's
God.
the wettest we've ever seen.
Jesus Christ. That clip popped up for me again today, and I just was like, God damn it, this isn't even AI. Like, it's not even a fake meme that someone made. This is a fucking real thing this dude said. Like, God damn it, man.
Yeah.
And I thought the shit that George W. Bush said was fucking stupid. I would take that cocksucker back in a minute, and he sucked.
Yeah. And in Bush's defense, a little, like, he was just a bad speaker. Like, you know what I mean? He just
Yeah.
when he tried to ad lib and go off the thing, shame on you. We can't get fooled again. You know what I mean? Like, he was just kind of whatever. And then Trump is just stupid. He is just legitimately dumb, incapable of being a true red president. There was something else I was going to say, but and I think our credibility as a country, like, everybody's almost like pampering him and being like, oh we have so much respect now for this country because Donald Trump is in office. Like all the people that voted for him are like, well, now Russia respects us again. They didn't under Sleepy Joe, and North Korea
Why
won't
do you
launch
think
their
that is?
limp dick nuke. And Australia, their spiders got smaller because of him. Like, everybody's saying, like, this is because of Trump. It's like, no, man, they're just placating to the fact that this guy needs his ego stroked in order for them to get whatever they want. Like, that's
Dude,
what's
okay.
happening here.
I have a very minor. This tangent's going to take about 4 seconds because I just want to verify something with, like, both of you. Okay, so I think it's interesting. You speak about, like, how everyone who voted for him is very like, whatever, everything's suddenly just fucking better, even though everything still sucks and things are getting worse measurably. I find it interesting that under Joe Biden, under Obama, it was always this thing where they could bitch about the president. Under Biden, we see all the fuck Joe Biden stickers and the, oh, I did that with the gas prices stickers and, like, all this bullshit, and people just talking about, oh, he's fucking dementia, he's fucked up, he's stupid, he's awful, he can't, string a sentence together, blah, blah. During the campaign, all the same shit fired at Kamala, like, she can't speak very well, even though I thought she's pretty fucking well spoken. People are giving her shit about, she is pretending to be black or whatever that whole stupid bullshit was. But now Donald Trump gets elected, and in my experience, and I know you guys have probably spoken to enough Trump supporters that you might be seeing this too, but it's in my experience where all of a sudden all of their rhetoric turns to, like, but why can't we just all be Americans together?
Exactly.
Why can't we all just, why can't we agree to disagree? All of a sudden it's that, and I'm like, no, we absolutely cannot agree to disagree. So I'm just, is that, like, that's what I've seen.
Yes, well, 1,000%, because that happened immediately the Wednesday following an election night. So the second the results came in and everybody knew that Donald was going to be the next president, my TikTok algorithm was full of people saying, "Well, why can't we just all just see the differences and just understand that that's America now?" And respect to Kamala, and she ran a good fight, but honestly, we all knew that she was unprepared for this. And then in like comments on Facebook, and then conversations I had in real life, with my coworkers too, were exactly what you just said, and it was just complete bullshit because their side won, and it's not the way they acted the previous 4 years during that Biden's administration.
Right.
So yeah, they suck.
Yeah, it's it's been really stupid. I mean, I've really only gotten into probably one real, I hesitate to call it a discussion. It's mostly just me calling this dude a fucking undercooked lasagna across multiple Facebook comments. But yeah, I'm not interested in pulling punches at this point, right? Because I just feel like we all gave them the benefit of the doubt. We've seen Trump however many years ago, and we saw what he did for 4 years, and we thought we could all move on from it, and we didn't, and they're still all being dickheads. And now they're supporting, um, I mean, God, run down the list. Like, he's tried to erase the uh identity of fully 3 million Americans or so with his transgender bans. The one that made us all women, by the way, the one so poorly written that we're all, if you identify as male, you are now a trans woman by executive order from the
Yeah.
White House. So by executive order, congratulations on your transition. Um, and then he, of course, signed an executive order today which will do nothing, banning trans women from sports. Um,
Right. All 12 of them.
which I was gonna say, yeah, literally, I think so. They had someone from the NCAA in a while ago, and when asked how many athletes are in the NCAA, of course, it's like whatever, it's like 100,000. It's a shitload of athletes. And when asked how many trans athletes there were, I think he said he could count them on one hand that he knows of, or there's like 10 that he knows of. So it's like not a fucking issue at all.
Right. Meanwhile,
I mean, fuck.
eggs are still going up, right? The battle cry of the fucking right, the whole election, eggs are too expensive.
Groceries.
Record highs. Never been higher.
Well,
It was
and
supposed to be
what's
day
also
one, motherfucker. What the hell?
Well, and the thing with that too, the double-edged sword of that I guess was pointed out to me recently was a lot of the increase in prices now is due to this fucking bird flu. So they have to kill a shitload of chickens that are
Right.
infected, right? Well, the problem is that's jumping to people because so many people are so fucking stupid now that they're eating raw meat and drinking raw unpasteurized milk and calling it healthy. For what reason, I don't fucking understand. I see this shit all the time because it's, again, like in the fitness space or the, whatever strength and whatever space that I'm in, that I exist in, so many of these dumb fucks also happen to exist with these fucking room temp IQ takes. Like they're just speed running, getting fucking like tuberculosis and like all these other fucking diseases that shouldn't exist.
Yep.
So now, I mean, there's a looming pandemic of bird flu, and Trump is completely ignoring that. So if there's a point where
Yeah.
that shoe drops, as a country, we are not prepared. And I'll remind everyone that we were not prepared for COVID because they threw out the playbook on pandemics made by the Obama administration during the last time, I think it was bird flu, tried to fuck everyone. So there's no playbook and he's ignoring it. And
Well,
so,
not only is he ignoring it, he's actively muzzling the CDC, and he withdrew out of the World Health Organization. Like, just
yeah,
actively making it worse and harder to find out what the fuck is happening and how to fix it, how to prepare, and how to defend yourself against these illnesses. And he's just like, nope. If I shove my head deep enough in the sand, nobody's going to be able to fucking get me sick.
well, and also, let's not forget that RFK now, his plan, or
Oh,
one thing that he
fuck.
stated he wants to do. Yeah, one thing he stated he wants to do while he was fucking beatboxing with his fucked up throat is shut down the infectious disease side of things to research chronic disease because this dumb fuck doesn't realize that A, they're connected, and B, you can kind of walk and chew gum on that at the same fucking time, right? Like,
Right.
I mean, this is the same dumb fuck that's, again, He's grounding himself in bare feet in airplane bathrooms. He's drinking this methylene blue shit because they think it's good for you when it's a food dye, but then they want to ban other food dyes because those food dyes are bad, giving kids fucking autism because they're banned in the UK, which they don't realize that the UK has banned less shit than America had. Like it's all completely fucked. Like
You-
I don't know. Again, we're preaching to the choir a little bit, but anyone who believes anything RFK says, find me on Facebook, find me on Instagram, email the podcast. I'll send you my fucking phone number, and I can give you sources and list reasons why you're a fucking moron if you believe one more word out of that demented fuck's mouth. I don't know. Anyway, I hate the fucking guy. It's
I-
it hits close to home being a fucking chronically ill person.
right.
And I have some stupid fuck saying it was Red 40 that did this shit. Gargle my balls, RFK. Gargle them.
Right. Look, I just wanted to add that I imagine when he was sawing the fucking head of that whale off, he had to stop and take a breath every time because he couldn't breathe and do it at the same time. That's the kind of fucking smarts we're working with here.
Yeah. Also, how does that not like make you stop and think if you do believe believe what RFK has to say and you find out all this shit along the campaign trail that he's ripping heads off whales, tying them to the hood of his car, and you're thinking, yeah, that's some Joe Rogan stuff. Like I can fucking, I can identify. No, dude, he's nuts. He is fucking insane. This guy has a goddamn worm in his head controlling him basically like a goddamn like Scrappy Doo was in fucking Scooby Doo 2. You know what I mean?
It's fucking Ratatouille in there. He's gonna pull off a chef's hat and it'll be a fucking worm like tugging on his hair and shit. We're making a spaghetti. It's this fucking worm up there.
Jigs up. I don't know. Yeah, dude. Fuck that guy.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, fucking.
Yeah, dude. I see people like jump to his defense when I see people like imitate him or do his impression. Yeah, he's got a thing going on with his voice, but then I see like these more than likely boomers jumping like he's got a condition. Come on, and these are the same people that were saying Dementia Joe should go home. Fuck that stupid dumb fucker. He's fucking dying in the White House. Like this aggressive language, but yet they'll jump to RFK's defense because it's their side now. It's the same bullshit we were just talking about with, why can't we just be Americans now? So you guys are fucking psychos. Go home.
I'll be honest, I can't listen to that fucker talk. I was trying to watch his hearing or whatever, his to be confirmed. I'm like, I can't listen to that fucker. Every time he started talking, I just skipped until they asked him another question. I'm like, I can't. Just mute it and give me the subtitles.
That's to say, you don't miss much out of him. He fucking didn't say anything. I love. Okay, God, we are way off. But like, this is one thing. This is my last thing on RFK. We could do a whole podcast on it. This is the one thing that I want to ask you guys if you saw. So during his confirmation hearing, there was a representative questioning him. She's a person of color. I don't remember her name, and she was grilling him about statements he had made suggesting that black people needed different vaccine scheduling, and he quoted some bullshit study which was poorly done. It was like horribly done by some, so people are mistaking it. It sounded like he had said it was a study from Poland, like the country. It was a study where the last name is Poland. So if you go into PubMed or wherever and search up the author whose last name is Poland, you will find it. I don't know exactly what it's called. I should have pulled it up, but this is all off the cuff. But did you guys see the clip where he says this stupid shit about, there's a study in black people, the antigens, and then so she takes her glasses off and she just gives him the most shit-eating smirk that I've ever seen. And she goes, so what vaccine schedule would you say that I should have gotten? Like, she fucking nailed that dude to the fucking wall because he told a black person to her face, you need different vaccine scheduling. And she goes, okay, all right. So tell me to my face right now, what racist shit do you think I need? Because to be clear, medical racism is very common in this country. Black people are prescribed painkillers at a much lower rate.
They're not taken seriously.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, during birth, they're not given drugs, for that during birth because there's this very, very old misnomer that people of color are or have a greater threshold for pain than white people, which is just, of course, not true. So yeah, I mean, it's just more medical racism by the guy that's now in charge of Health and Human Services. So, but yeah, if you guys haven't seen that, and if anyone listening hasn't seen that, it was fucking beautiful. That was the most A+ fucking moment of his confirmation hearing, hands down.
I did watch that. That was pretty funny.
That
What
was
was it?
oh my god.
Did he have an answer?
He kind
Said,
of,
"I
I
don't
forget what
know."
he said. I think
He
it was
said,
kind
"I
of,
don't
yeah,
know."
like he kind of stuttered, like the brain wasn't awake yet. It hadn't had enough Mountain Dew. I assume the brainworm's fueled by Mountain Dew. That's kind of my guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I like how the most unhealthiest sounding fucking tan, whatever the fuck's going on with him, dude is our definition of health. You know what I mean?
Well,
You know
everyone
what I mean?
looks at him and goes, "Well, he's jacked." And here's another thing that's wrong with like health though is like he's jacked. He's in great shape for a 70-year-old guy. But I can tell you how that happens, and you're not going to like it. And it's because it requires pinning your ass. So, I mean, that's the thing. If like again, like look at all I think all the proof you need is some of these old bodybuilders, right? Arnold in his prime. Everyone knows what that looks like. And if you don't look it up, it's beautiful. The pinnacle of bodybuilding. And look at him now. You know, he's in his 70s, he's old. You get soft. Your muscle kind of goes away. It just happens, right? He's not jacked and ripped and lean. Tom Platz, the fucking quad father. He still kind of has legs and he's still kind of jacked, but he could still be pinning his ass too, but also he was 4 times the size of any of us, in his prime. So you look at all these guys, even old professional wrestlers, right? You look at like Hulk Hogan, that piece of shit. Um, he's just soft. He's not that prime big Hulk Hogan anymore. That's what aging looks like. RFK is not what aging looks like, not naturally anyway.
Right.
But a few 100 milligrams of test a week extra, you can age like that now, because science has allowed us
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He's pretty rough though. Still.
he is. He's hard to look at. I won't lie. He's hard to look at.
It's definitely a pretty big fall from John F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
God, he might be one of the only good Kennedys. I think we could talk a
Still.
lot about how shitty that family kind of is, like
Yeah.
as a whole. Like not all of them. There's a billion of them, but there's a lot of them, man, that just were off.
Yeah. No, they have a pretty rough go at being humans. But speaking of being human and
Being bad at it.
Donnie T.
That segue worked out actually.
Donnie T doesn't want to necessarily be humans to the Palestinians. So what he's going to do is, be Russia about things and get territory next to the enemies, like Russia did with Cuba, and put himself right in Gaza. And he's going to say, it's a disaster. We're going to put fucking Donalds there. I got to blow my nose. And so that's what he's doing. And we're getting laughs from all around. And, you guys talk about it now. Punt.
Thanks, Eric. Now for sports.
It's 4th and 23.
Yeah, no shit. Anyway, no, seriously, it's so it's pretty fucked up. So this started, and the thing that's dumb is this kind of started with Donald Trump just wanted Jordan and Egypt to take refugees from Gaza, which, you know what? Yeah, someone's probably got to take some refugees for a while. But then he started talking about how maybe we need to permanently rehome these people, or however he put it. I don't think rehome was the word, but that's basically what it comes down to, right? Permanently, move these people out. And now, yeah, his dumbass, and I think Jared Kushner's in on this. If you remember that fucking skinny Slender Man motherfucker from the guy from 2016 who was going to bring peace to the Middle East. That was his job for 4 years. A thing nobody's been able to do for like 150 fucking years. He was going to take care of it. Jared Kushner was going to take care of that, and he did a great job. Kudos to him. Gold star, buddy. But yeah, he wants to. It sounds. I mean, yeah, it is a disaster, right? I mean, Trump. The one thing Trump said right was that it's. I mean, it's all destroyed. It is a mess over there because it's been bombed by Israel with the bombs we kept selling to Israel. So our taxes are going to pay for bombing of Gaza and then for the rebuilding of Gaza, but not in the way you might think, because I think Trump said he wants to make a version of the French Riviera there, which is a really fucked up thing to say. So he's putting fucking Disneyland where the Gaza Strip used to be, and then taking all the people from Gaza and pushing them out of their home, something they've been going to war over for like 100 years. And he's just going to say, hey, all of you just go live somewhere else. We're making this just a giant business, like just a giant business park. It's
And
fucked. It's like, it's disgusting.
and Netanyahu.com he's in on this, right?
Oh God, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Dude, we were Jesus fucking Christ. We remember last night, fuck it, or last time Trump was in office, him and fucking BB Boop and Bapu, who were fucking homeboys, and they would just go and have slumber parties, and I assume like watch old fucking Rambo movies or something together. And yeah, like that's here's the thing, and I want all these dumb fuckers. This is like one of the biggest points of this. There were so many dumb fucks that were talking about how Kamala wasn't being tough enough on Israel. And there were all these Palestinian or Free Palestine like people protesting her, and all over the subreddits there was people bitching up and down about she's not being hard enough on Israel, whatever. So this is what we got instead. Because either they stayed home or they voted for Trump because Trump was wishy-washy on fucking the whole thing and he never committed to a side on the whole thing.
Yeah.
This is what we're going to get. So instead of getting Kamala, who, sure, she wouldn't have been hard enough probably on Israel, but now we're going to take all the people from Gaza that you gave a shit about and we're going to just rehome them like a bunch of fucking animals.
Yep.
So that's what we get. So all of you dumb fucker, if you stayed home and you listen to this, fuck you. If you voted for Trump and you listen to this, gargle my fucking balls. Like this is what you got instead. So this is, I mean, there's consequences. Actions have consequences. Elections have consequences.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you were hoping for Trump to do something other than what he's doing, if you were hoping for him to do the right thing, you're fucking dumb. But secondly, fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Damn it, just deflated.
And another thing. No, I don't have another thing.
Well,
I was just trying to get you rolling.
This is in Trump's, like, this is where he thrives, right? Is the fact that, like, hey, this is an opportunity for America or me to like capitalize off of someone else's misfortune. Like, there's a ceasefire now, and whether or not he was involved, whatever, but it's over ish. And now U.S. can come in, slap their meat stamp on the ground, and be like, all right, we're gonna fucking, we're gonna build this thing up, and it's gonna be ours now permanently. And by the way, this is low key kind of taking over a sovereign nation, but everyone else is going to be cool with it. All right, Russia, remember Crimea in 2014, and we told you to stop. This is what we're doing now. And everybody's going to be okay with it, right? Yeah, nuclear war on the line and whatnot. Anyway, so that's exactly what we're. I mean, am I over exaggerating here? But are we not low key taking over land? That's
no. It's the same shit when he talks about Canada being the 51st state, which he's still bringing up. When he talks about buying Greenland, when he talks about his bullshit with the Panama Canal, he's trying to go and take more land and take more shit. I think we talked about it when we brought that up, whatever, a couple of podcasts ago. Like he's just trying to make America huge and all over and make it this big international power. But it's like, and this is in his wheelhouse because it's kind of a real estate deal. He sees a bunch of, a strip of raised lands and he just goes, he like twiddles his fucking fingers together and gets all like goblin mode and goes like, I could put so many Trump hotels here. They will all have golden toilets. Okay. Also, speaking of golden toilets, speaking of golden toilets, you know what? When they were doing this deal, this is a fun thing. They're doing this deal. Him and Netanyahu want to hang out and they make this stupid fucking deal so they can jerk each other off, which is definitely just a power grab by both of them. It's probably Netanyahu's just playing Trump like a goddamn tuba. Let's be honest. But so Netanyahu gave him a gift, which you're not supposed to accept gifts, but he gave him a gift. And this gift it has a plaque that says, whatever to Donald Trump, whatever, I love you, hug, kiss, whatever the fuck it says. But it's just a piece of wood with like a spray painted gold pager like glued to it.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah. Like just a pager.
Fox Leap LLC. No, I'm just
kidding. Shout out. Sponsor podcast. Okay. No, it's just a fucking petrified piece of wood. A petrified piece of wood with a fucking paint. Which, for all you youngins out there, a pager was a thing before cell phones that you would call and it would beep. And then that person knew that they had to call you. And nobody liked them. Well, everyone liked them for a while, and then nobody liked them because cell phones came around. But yeah, that's for the young folks that are anywhere younger than probably Rick and I, because I think we would have just barely caught the end of the pager era in our childhood.
I used one at work. That's
Yeah, I
it.
suppose they still exist in that context,
Yep.
And
but they used to
and
be everyone had one.
yeah, yeah. I've been watching The Sopranos lately, and they all have them. So that's 1999 to 2006. So yeah, you're about right with
Hell
that.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's,
Anyway,
Yeah, you know.
to summarize what I wanted to say on Trump and Gaza,
There we go.
you can always count on Trump to do the shittiest thing. Like, if there's a lesson to be learned here for the people that voted for him, thinking he would do something good or better than what Biden was doing, count on him to do the shittiest fucking thing, because that's what he's going to do. More likely than not, because he's fucking Trump.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got
That's it.
rump in his name.
Yeah, it's
Shit.
right there.
literally, bro.
The T-rump.
T-rump. Dude, it's well, and he stands like it too. God damn it. That boy got lumbar lordosis like I ain't never seen before. That boy belongs to the streets. Tell you what, fuck. You're gonna stick it out like that, you gotta move it.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, I'm just saying. If you're gonna do some of that shit, put the tunes on, dude. You gotta put the tunes on. That boy belongs to the streets.
He's the envy of Michael Jackson in that fucking music video where he leans forward.
Right. And Trump ain't even got his shoes bolted to the fucking stage. He's just doing it.
Right?
He defies physics, man. It's
Yeah.
the golden ratio. If you fucking line it up, I bet it's just golden ratio all the way there. So his center of gravity is just perfect.
He's riding the edge of that fucking ratio, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no shit.
Stiff breeze, he's going over.
Yeah, it's bad. I don't know. It is bad. And it's a thing where like the thing is if America is going to have a presence there. First of all, I don't understand why conservatives are defending this because the conservatives I grew up with talk about smaller government and always bitch up and down about how like well we're playing babysitting all these nations. We have military bases all over and like we are the military for so many of these countries and we don't need to be doing all that shit. It's like, okay, so now we're going to go put all this time and money into Gaza. Again, while there's just a fucking laundry list of problems here at home. So people are going to in one hand say we got to take care of our veterans, we got to take care of homeless people, there's a mental health crisis, there's this that like healthcare is too much, and then they're going to go, yes, let's send a shitload of stuff over to Gaza and build a bunch of fucking hotels. Like, because the thing is, you have to look, if Trump himself, like the citizen who had never been president before, said, I'm going to buy Gaza and turn it into hotels, it's still fucking disgusting, but he's using his own money and his own whatever to do it. When Trump now says we're going to go to Gaza and turn it into like the French Riviera, where do you think that money is coming from? He's
Yeah.
supposed to be being president, not a real estate investor,
Right.
not a real estate developer. So let's just fucking like rub your two brain cells together real fucking hard and just try and figure that one out. Come on,
That's how
man.
you start fires.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you can find that second brain cell, though, it's hard to find in some of these people's heads.
So I also wanted to call to attention the hypocrisy of being in favor of what Trump wants to do with Gaza and basically fucking annex that too along with other places and bitching about USAID and that being
God.
a fucking sticking money into other places. Like, you can't have it both ways. You're literally bitching about the same fucking thing. It's just Trump isn't doing it. So which is it?
Yeah, I think it's kind of the same things before. It's just kind of like, government bad, politicians bad, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, well, Trump's a politician now. You know what I mean? Like, so now is he bad? And like, is the government bad? But then you are asking things of the governments. Like, it's the thing where people are just hopelessly unaware of the shit that the government does for them. Like, just under the cover of, we just provide these things for you. So once all these things, USAID, like, we won't really see an issue with that. Um, probably stateside, but of course, like there's all these problems with defunding that, with shutting that shit down. There's all these problems with shutting down or kind of muzzling the CDC. And there's all these problems with not contributing to the World Health Organization, all this other shit that he's shutting down. Like that all has a trickle effect that's going to trickle into America, like within America, and going to affect directly American citizens. You know, we'll talk about it at some point in a future episode, I imagine. But like the move to shut down the Department of Education, like that's on. That's moving now. Like
Yep.
he's starting to push that fucker along. So what happens? What do you think happens in all these poorer, usually red states when all of that federal funding goes away and he says, okay, we're going to rely on the states to handle it themselves, right? So a lot of these states rely on that money for their schools to stay open at all, right? So places like communities are going to fully lose their public education system. Now what?
Yep.
You know, what happens
Now
when
their
your bus ride to
taxes go
school
up.
is an hour and a half? Yeah, or their taxes are going to have to go through the fucking roof.
It'll have to if they want schools for their kids.
Yep.
That's the only option left. Here's the glaring issue with all of this is the fact that look, you want to take this all away federally and leave it up to the states to educate their own kids. And you feel pretty proud of yourself about that fucking idea that you had all by yourself. But here's the fucking problem. If you're not investing in the kids of the whole country, then you have kids that haven't learned anything, right? Then you're surrounded by stupid people like the president. And then you have to deal with them and talk them off fucking cliffs because they watch too much fucking Fox and Friends. Like this is again, like Zach said in a previous episode, we're circling the fucking drain. The government is bad, and I'll prove it to you if you elect me. Like it's fucking, it's hypocrisy. Like you can't even parody this shit. And I know I've said that before, but Jesus Christ, like I don't know, man. It's fucking dumb.
So
It's hard not to flip the fuck out about it. That's true.
it looks like to me that they want people to be the most uneducated generation to come, probably with the the shutdown of the Department of Education, and then also you have, like you guys said, then you raise the taxes, and then the Republicans promise to lower taxes, and then you have this whole systemic issue of the same person getting elected. Then that's how they're probably planning on generations worth of Republicans in office, right? And so then you have, the lack of education to make people think. And I'm not saying all Republicans are uneducated, because I think that's kind of a broad stroke, unfair thing to say, because I'm assuming that's not true, and I'm hoping that's not true. But with that being said, they're going to placate to the idea that the taxes are going to be higher, and everybody wants lower taxes. Everybody wants lower taxes because a lot of people don't understand where they go, and a lot of people don't understand why they're so high all the time for everybody. So with that being said, if things go back down to the states, they're going to get promised lower taxes, and they're going to keep voting for the guy that says it. And then the Dems are probably going to be like, well, we got to do this for that and that for this. And, sometimes that goes on to you guys to support everybody. No, fuck you, family first. Like, I got to look after me before I look after everybody else. Kind of like what happened this past election. So
I don't know if you guys noticed or saw any of these videos, but there were these people on TikTok or whatever, YouTube shorts, if you're fucking old like me,
Or
where they
Instagram, if you're me, we got the whole thing scattered.
Yeah.
Here.
So they recorded themselves when Trump won, and they were fucking giddy as all hell. And they were celebrating, jumping around, fucking doing cartwheels, fucking doing lines of coke, whatever it was. And then fast forward to whatever it was, like last week when he froze all of the funding. And those same fucking people made these videos freaking the fuck out because they don't have the fucking government handout that they were bitching about to feed their kids.
Yeah.
You fucking idiots.
Well, so I don't know if you guys, I sent a CNN video. I send you guys a ton of shit, but I sent a CNN video in our group chat that we have. And what it was, to summarize for everyone. So CNN did a report on, I think it was a school in Kentucky, I believe. I don't remember where in Kentucky, but a lot of Kentucky is very poor. It relies on mining, not a lot of money there. And they went to a school district and they talked to the superintendent
Yeah.
and they talked to one of the teachers. So, and both of them, the superintendent and this teacher, they both express very much they love the kids. They're on, a shoestring budget for this school. The superintendent was doing a bunch of extra like administrative work, so they didn't have to pay someone to do that administrative work, so they could save that money. These people are working their asses off. It sounds very much like I fully believe they really give a shit about their district. They really give a shit about their school and they really give a shit about the kids. But they both voted for Donald Trump, not thinking that he would follow through on shutting down the Department of Education and not thinking through what that would mean for them. But what they expressed in this report is what it means to them is they may not be able to do anything for these kids anymore and they may have to shut the entire school down. And this is in an area where the superintendent expressed that he would not be surprised. Like, I mean, this is almost, I mean, not word for word, but like directly from his mouth is that he wouldn't be surprised if some of these kids went home on Friday and didn't have a meal until they came back to school on Monday because these homes are so fucking poor, right? So these
Jesus.
kids, like, that is where they are fed, and this is where they're supposed to learn. And I like anyone imagine, I mean, most of the people that we probably end up getting out to grew up not necessarily privileged, but with enough privilege that we had food, right? So, I mean, imagine going home knowing on Friday night that like you're not really going to get a whole lot of food and like you have math homework and you got a book report, and you're supposed to, I don't know, if you're a kid, like do a coloring book or whatever the fuck it all is. But you go home to your house, and I know that there's, I mean, shit in some of these poorer areas that which this could very well have be one, but there are certainly poor areas like this without, with public schools where your house, you don't have hot water, you don't have indoor plumbing even, because you're living in these houses that are incredibly old. Um, you might not have heat in the winter. And all of these people now in all of these red states, or for the most part, red states, are just going to get fucked by this, and it's going to be up to either, like we said, the states are going to have to raise taxes, or, there's still going to have to, they're going to have to reinstate some sort of funding somehow,
Right.
but the problem is the Department of Education handles distributing that fucking funding. So what, like, what's that going to look like? Uh, and if we're going to start a wealth funds are for countries that run in a surplus. Wealth
Yeah.
funds are for countries like Norway and Saudi Arabia, and like a couple of other of those that have a ton of oil or a ton of resources to export. So um, it's, I don't know, it's terrifying. It's terrifying for the kids. It's terrifying for the fact that we're going to produce people that are unintelligent to no fault of their own.
Right.
Ultimately, to some of these kids, the Department of Education also. I mean, shit, the loans I take out for school so that I can go to school and better my life and hopefully get a better spot, they're in charge of those. So there was a moment there where I wasn't sure if my funds were going to get distributed because of those freezes, right?
Yep.
So here I'm a 35 or 34-year-old guy trying to make my life better, and Trump is almost still fucking me, and a bunch of people like us. So it's not only even at the public school level, but it goes up, higher education and things like that. It's fucking disappointing, that all these red states vote for him, not realizing how much they fucking get. It's like a house cat. My cat doesn't
Yep.
realize how much I fucking do for him. He just trots around thinking he's hot shit, that he doesn't
Right.
need any help. But I tell you what, when it's fucking dinner time, he's pawing at my door right now because it's fucking dinner time as we're recording this. And that's a fucking just a beautiful fucking metaphor for what I'm talking about. He trots around like he doesn't fucking need me, but the second he needs food, oh buddy, like I better give it to him right fucking now.
Republicans are the cats of politics.
Yeah, and libertarians.
And libertarians, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and what's sad about the red states predicament with the schooling too is these motherfuckers have the audacity to call themselves pro-life
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
seeing these kids not being able to eat all weekend and not giving a fuck about that. As long as they got their Jeebus and their guns, they're fucking good.
Well,
And
God has a
yeah,
plan for him, Rick.
it's fucking gross, dude. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's fucking bad.
Well, we saw
Let's
it in
vote for the
Minnesota.
dumb idiot again.
Like we saw it in Minnesota. I don't know if you guys, or how much, I guess you saw of this, but and we brought it up before. But in Minnesota, we feed for free. We there is a law that Governor Walz signed that like we feed kids breakfast and lunch for free. Like we just give them food now was the bill. And so many right-wing people absolutely lost their shit about it. Just absolutely lost their mind that we're giving these kids free food. And it should be the responsibility of the parents to do this shit, right?
Right.
It's like, okay, if you want people to have kids, maybe help them take care of their kids because some of these people are working 2, 3 jobs and they just can't like the circumstances just don't
Right.
allow them to get their shit together. But they want a 14-year-old rape victim to carry that fucking kid to term and figure out how to take care of it.
Right. On her
So
own.
that
No
kid,
help.
yeah,
Fuck you.
she should just get it together. Like, go whatever, get a job at Chase Bank and become a fucking, make 6 figures a year, just whatever, as a high school
Right.
drop. Like, are you fucking serious? These poor people are gonna work. Some people work at gas stations, and that's all they can fucking do. But the world needs gas station attendants.
Right.
So fuck it. And I just think it's morally wrong to sit there and pick and choose who you take care of, and then you choose to take care of the more fortunate people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck if someone down the road from me who works at the fucking, I don't know, it's a hood rat ass gas station. And it's kind of a busted ass gas station down the road from me. And if someone there, if that's the only job they can get, and even if legitimately they're only intelligent enough for that job or whatever the case is, like, if they have kids, I want to take care of that kid. Like, we got to give
Right.
them a shot,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the unwillingness of people to not give the kids a shot is just
Yeah.
fucked.
Well, these fuckers are saying pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and they're sitting there cutting the fucking bootstraps.
Yeah.
It's like they're taking away any means you have to better your life and make it even harder than it is. And they're just like, figure it out. Like, how about you go fuck yourself? Gargle my balls, if you will.
The main bullet point, yeah, that's what it is, dude. It's just fucking, it's
I think we
sad,
got
and
our
it's
title
sad
of
that,
this show.
yeah, no shit.
Might have to PG it up a little bit, Gargle My Marbs or something like that. But
Garble my
Marble my
knife.
garps.
yeah,
Yeah, it's sad. It's a sad state of affairs for these fucking kids, man. The future is just, it's grim. It's not
the
looking
future.
great, boys.
Yeah, it used to be bright. It's pretty fucking dark and dull and gray right now, and it's not looking up.
And we didn't even get to talk about Elon stealing all of our shit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't even get that far. We'll have to. You know what? He's gonna keep stealing shit and doing stupid shit. Yeah. We'll hit that one up in the future. I'm certain of it because his Waluigi fucking built like a '50s fridge looking ass is just gonna keep doing his fucking autistic Roman salute and fucking duck stepping around and rooting through all of your private info like a goddamn truffle pig. So just, the richest man on the planet is just, he has all your social security. He's going to change them all to 42069 for the memes and then ruin our credit scores, like, just because he thinks it's funny.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Fuck him. Gargle my marbles and gargle my balls. All right. Well,
So, I did have one thing I wanted to end with. There's an app that you can get called 5 Calls. It's an app. You can download it, and it gives you the contact information of your Congress people to be able to get a hold of them and call them and ask them what the fuck they're doing to stop this shit from happening, especially with Elon and whatever the hell else. Use it. Use that app. Again, it's 5 Calls. Download it. It gives you a little script if you don't know how to talk, if you're not used to confronting people on the phone. It's helpful. It's useful. Use it. It's a tool.
and that's not a paid sponsor, so it's just genuine. Go out there.
It's just, I give a fuck, and I don't want to become a fucking fascist dictatorship. So we need to fucking do whatever we can.
No, that app does make it pretty easy. Like you said, script uses your location to pull up your representatives automatically. It has a big list of issues to call about. So yeah, I dug through it. It's good and it's free, which is
Yes,
the best
use it
price.
and fucking call every day. That's
Yeah.
it. That's my sign off.
Perfect. All right. Zeke?
Yeah, I've been thinking this whole time, like this whole episode took so many turns, but uh, you know, I mean, do what Rick said, of course, but I think I'd add with a lot of this Department of Education stuff going on, book bannings going on, things like that. I don't have any good resources for books offhand right now. I if I find some, I'll shout them out at some point and post them, whatever. But I think it's important right now to find those lists of books that the right doesn't want you to have, and go have them and go read them. Educating yourself, right now is more important than ever, but it's kind of, you got to go a little bit of anarchist cookbook about it. So go read books on fascism, go read books on how that, comes about. I would suggest reading books on, labor disputes and things like that. One book I've read, it's called Fight Like Hell. I don't remember the author offhand. It's in my bookshelf somewhere back here, but, that nobody can see, Jesus. But go read these books on how these things have happened over the course of history, or find podcasts, or audiobooks if that's your thing. But educate yourself on how stuff like this has gone over in the past, because right now, we said it last time, history's kind of repeating itself. They're rhyming it, they're writing orange with porridge right now, and we're failing an open book test is what we're doing, right? History's repeating, and we somehow aren't seeing the freight train coming. You just, all the notes are there. So that's what I encourage people to start doing. That's honestly like one of the most resistance heavy things you can do, is go and fucking read and educate yourself on these things.
I want to add one more thought to that. If you've ever wondered what you would do in 1930s Germany, you're doing it.
Yep. We started a podcast, for example.
Yeah, I actually, Rick, you sent that thing in our family thing, but I actually kind of wanted to echo it a little bit, or put a spin on it. But it's time to do something. You don't want to look back and be the enabler, or the person that waited too long, because the citizens of Germany, were still labeled as such, that their dictator was. So you don't want to go down with the ship, so to speak. And also, don't let it get ahead of itself. Stop it while it's fucking heating up. Nip it in the bud, whatever it is. So download the app, do something, get the books, educate yourself,
organize.
Get off the couch, okay? Americans, I think I said this before in the podcast, I'm scared that they're counting on people being too fucking lazy, or thinking that it's never going to happen to us. It's happening to us. It's happening right in front of us. It's time, okay? Get off your ass and do something. And that includes all three of us, all right? Podcast isn't going to cut it. All right. Thanks for dropping in.
Love you, man.